Today, I want to talk about the pros and the cons of trucking, the bitter and the sweet in the trucking industry. But first, I want to let you hear a small clip um, that was posted on Facebook. Now, I don't own the rights to it, but I just want you to hear it.
Well, guys, it's the end of an era. The truck is cleaned out, and I'm done.
Alright, y'all, so let me tell y'all about one of my last loads with Dollar General and why I decided to leave over the road trucking.
It's gonna come a time when you out here and you're gonna be like, man, I'm done.
I've come to the realization that the trucker lifestyle isn't for me.
Now, look, my truck, the engine blew up in the truck, so it's over with for that truck. It's over with. Now, I could go get another truck right now, but I don't want to.
So my experience working in the trucking industry is that it's not worth it.
For the 100th time, the reason why I stopped driving trucks was because it was depressing.
I quit. Yep. Finally fucking quit. Sad to say today, I'm done with trucking. Y'all, I quit with this company. I'll make another video on why I quit with them, but that ain't for this video, but I'm done.
Well, guys, it's the end of an era.
All right. I just wanted y'all to hear that small clip about truck drivers and some of the issues, all right, that they face out here on the road, and they decide to call it quit. All right, but let me be perfectly honest with you about the trucking industry. I've been driving trucks on and off since 1986. All right, I've driven for more companies than I have fingers and toes. Okay. Yes, I have been a job hopper in the trucking industry. A lot of drivers have. But over a period of time, I'm 70 now, and I've been in since 86. All right. My last job that I quit uh, was in October of last year. Um, I was with Abilene Motor Express. All right. And I let my emotions got the best of me. All right. Just like the clip that you just heard of people who one day they just said, all right, I'm done. All right. Now, if you go with another company, it's going to be the same old suit, maybe just a different color, maybe warmed over. Um, the bitter and the sweet and the pros and the cons is what I want to talk about today. All right. In the trucking industry, you're going to have good days and bad days. You'll go to some shippers and receivers, and they'll get you out of there in no time. Some shippers and receivers, they'll take their time about loading or unloading you. You get out there on the road after you get loaded, and sometimes the traffic will be light, sometimes it'll be moderate, sometimes it'll be backed up, sometimes you'll just come to a complete stop. Hmm? Some of your dispatch, you might have long miles. Then again, you might have short miles. You're liable to get unloaded around about this time in the morning. And right now it's about 10:29. The dispatch might tell you got a dead head 100 or 200 miles. You pick up your next load. By the time you get to that shipper, okay, you got 5 or 6 trucks ahead of you. All right. Take you 4 hours to drive 200 miles. When you get to the shipper, okay, they backed up. You got 5 trucks ahead of you. And you at one of them shippers where they take their own sweet time about loading you, or they got to wait on the product. So now you done sit there for 4 hours and you don't even have a dough yet. So by the time you get out of there, it's 6 hours have gone by. Huh? So now it's almost time for you to take your 10-hour break because you can't stop your clock once your clock starts. So now you got 4 hours of driving, all right? You got 6 hours off duty or in the sleeper berth, but it basically don't do you any good unless you take another 4 hours in the sleeper berth or off duty to reset your 14-hour clock. So that whole day basically is shot, and you ain't made no money. You only got 200 miles under your belt for that day. If you get 60 cents a mile, if they're paying you 60 cents a mile, huh? You ain't got but 4 hours of driving. You really ain't made no money that day. You ain't got but 200 miles. So you only made about $120 that day. And the whole day is gone. You run into days like that, where everything could go wrong will. You got to take the bitter with the sweet. Hmm? Some days you'll be on the side of the road, broke down. Huh? It make no difference if you got virgin tires. You still could have a flat. There are gonna be days you're gonna be in the shop 1 or 2 days, waiting to get the truck fixed. I mean, trucking, and I've been in it for 38 years. All right, you're gonna have to suffer the bitter with the sweet. That's just the way it is. You can go from this company to that company, but you find out some of the same BS that you went through with the last company you was with. You're gonna go through some of that same BS with that company. It don't change. Hmm? All right. This week, okay, you might get 2,500, 3,000 miles. But the next week, you're lucky if you get 2,500 due to the way the freight run and due to the way of how your company get freight. Hmm? All right. As a new driver, just starting out with a company, and you deliver your first load. All right. They got other trucks in that area. The driver's been there longer than you. All right. They might have a couple of team drivers. All right. The team drivers is going to get the longest miles. The older driver that's been there before you, they're going to get loaded first. That's just the pros and the cons of trucking. All right. You have to suffer the bitter with the sweet. It's nothing new in trucking. It's been that way ever since I've been in it, and I've been in it for 38 years. Yeah, you're going to have a problem with your dispatch. Hmm? You're not going to like some of the loads that they dispatch you. You're not going to like some of the lanes. All right, you take me. All right, I don't like to run 7-7. All right, going. I don't like to run the West Virginia Turnpike. Hmm? I don't like to run 64 coming out of Richmond. I don't like to run 64 West. All them hills and curves. Hmm? I don't like to run the West Virginia Turnpike. Bunch of hills and curves. But if you're going to Ohio out of the Carolinas, most likely you don't have to run the West Virginia Turnpike. So it takes patience to be a truck driver. You have to suffer the bitter with the sweet. I've learned that. I don't think there's been no driver out there, all right, and it may be, who have had as many truck driving jobs as I had. And I found out that all the companies are similar. They just do it different. Hmm? And shit falls downhill, and most of the time it falls on the driver. The driver is a company's greatest asset, but they don't treat you that way. And it make no difference if you are independent, if you're an owner operator, if you're a company driver, or if you're a lease purchase driver. things for all is practically the same. All right. They don't want to pay you so you can make a decent living. All of them lowball you on the pay. It make no difference how good of a driver you are. It make no difference how nice you be. The top pay in trucking right now is about 70 cents a mile with a slow truck. Hmm? All them guys out there that making 70 cents a mile as a company driver, you got a slow truck that cut back to 65 or 68 miles per hour. Okay? All right. When I was with Abilene trucks will run 70. Abilene trucks will run 72. But they don't pay for 50 cents a mile. All right? So the companies that's got the fast trucks, and there ain't too many of them out here, got the fast trucks. All right? They lowball you on the mileage. See? But they'll pay you 70 cents a mile, but cut your speed back 65 or 68 miles per hour. See? Your speed determines how many miles you can roll in 11 hours. Okay? You can take a 72 miles per hour truck, and if you got long mileage, all right, say they give you a run from Richmond to Reno, Nevada. Okay? I mean, if you can sit in that saddle for 10 and a half hours, you could turn 650 miles that day. Now, you can't be bullshitting that truck stop. Huh? You can't be pulling on the side of the road going to sleep. You got to roll consistently for 10 and a half hours. Huh? So you got your sandwiches, your water, your drinks, then your medication or whatever. All right. Or your little snacks and your knickknacks. Right here beside you, in a little cooler. I got a little box cooler. Okay, about that long and about that high. Okay. All right. The only time you stopping is to get fuel. Hmm? And depending on how long the fuel aisle is, how backed up the fuel aisle is, it shouldn't take you no more than about 15 to 20 minutes to fuel, and you're gone. With 72 miles per hour truck, you can turn 650 miles. Hmm? With a 65 miles per hour truck, you're lucky to get 500. Hmm? Been there, done that. All right. So you give me 70 cents a mile and put me in a slow truck, you basically did me no justice. Because that man that's making 50 cents a mile and got a 72 miles by a truck, at the end of the day, the pay will be about the same. But that's the pros and the cons of trucking. That's the bitter and the sweet. So you gotta deal with it. If you want to be in the trucking industry, you got to deal with it. If you don't, but you'll go from trucking company to trucking company. You go to trucking company, from trucking company to trucking company, and you find out that all of them is basically is the same. You're gonna have good days and bad days. Hmm? You're gonna have good weather. You're gonna have bad weather out there. That's just the way it is. You're gonna you're gonna get to truck stops, and there ain't gonna be no parking. If any parking, it's gonna be reserved parking. All right, say you don't want to pay for reserved parking, so you run another 10 or 20, 30 miles down the road, you run into the same shit. That truck stop is full. Hmm? You might find one hole, but you tired. You done drove 10. You done drove 10 hours that day. You're using that last hour to try to find a place to sleep. There might be a hole there, but it's going to be so difficult to get in that you don't want to fool with it, huh? Especially if it's at night. You might get to the rest area, and it's full. You got to keep on moving, and you dog tired, huh? And you at the rest area, and ain't no parking. It's at nighttime, and you dog tired. Yeah, those are the pros and the cons, the bitter and the sweet when it come down to the trucking industry. Hmm? You might get to a fuel stop, and you need fuel, and they're out of fuel. Hmm? Yeah, you're gonna have incidents and accidents. All right. Hey, your safety manager is gonna tell you that all accidents is avoidable. All right. But that's a yes and a no question. Because you could be right in the sweet spot of an accident. The accident may not have been your fault. Huh? But there's an accident over here on the other side of you that spill over on you. You ain't did nothing wrong. So yeah, you're gonna have an accident. You don't want to, you try not to, but shit happens. Yeah. That's just the way the trucking industry is. Now I've learned through trial and error that you have to suffer the bitter along with the sweet. That's just the way it is. A shipper might overload you. Hmm? You might have to go back to the ship and say, you don't have to take some of this shit off. I'm overweight. Huh? You run into all type of situations out there as a truck driver. Huh? You're gonna get pulled over by the DOT. And you're liable to get a ticket. Huh? They might flag you at the scale house and tell you to pull around back. Huh? Don't take it personal. But that's just the way it is in the trucking business. And that doesn't it doesn't make no difference if you're independent, whether you're owner operator, whether you're company driver, or whether you a lease purchase. You're gonna go through some of the same bullshit. That's just the way it is. So you can get mad and quit, find you something else to do, or you can roll with the punches. You can leave this company and go to another company, but it's just gonna still be the same old suit, maybe a different color. Huh? Might have a little bit more meat in it. Huh? Might taste a little bit better. Might be a little thicker, but it basically the same old suit. Okay. Trucking companies do the same thing. Their overall objective is the same. They just do it different. All right. All right. Let me tell you about Abilene. Abilene Motor Express is a good company to work for. All right. All right. They're a pretty good company to work for. They pay 50 cents a mile. Okay. I think they give you about 3 cents a mile safety bonus after 90 days. All right. You get about a 3 cent safety bonus every, I think it's every quarter. All right. So if you start there in January, okay, your safety bonus will start earning in April. All right. April, May, June. So you'll get your safety bonus, okay, in June. Okay. If you didn't have no violation. Okay. See, because after you eligible for your safety bonus, they really start monitoring your truck because they really don't want to give you your safety bonus. They want to find a way to take it. Mm-hmm. So, say for instance, you hit a good hill and you load it, huh? And you don't hold your truck back and you let your truck get up to 80 miles per hour. That's a flag against your safety bonus. because you let that truck go over the posted speed limit. That truck they're supposed to run no more than 72 miles per hour. But you ran down that hill and you at 80 miles per hour, you let it coast down the hill. Okay, see. So a lot of people, unless you're a perfect driver, unless you're really monitoring what that truck doing, and hold that truck back on the downgrade, okay, and watch your speed limit, all right, you might get your safety bonus in June. It's 3 cents a mile for all the miles you turned within that 90-day period. Okay, all right. Then they give you a penny a mile for every mile that you turn during that whole year, during the 12-month period. They'll give you a penny a mile. See? So in actuality, they're paying 54 cents a mile. See? But you got to jump through some hoops to get the other 4 cents. Hmm? So if you start with them in January and you quit in October, well, you lose your yearly mileage bonus of a penny a mile on every mile that you have run. They take that back. You don't get that. You don't get that unless you got 12 months in. Okay? Huh? And you don't get your 3 cent a mile safety bonus unless you're damn near a perfect driver. Hmm? See? And a lot of companies, they got similar bullshit safety bonus that they try their best not to give it to you. Hmm? Because anytime that truck is rolling, they got a computer that's monitoring the driver behavior. Oh, I don't want to make nobody mad. Hmm? Whether you brake too hard, hmm? Whether you had to swerve or not. Modern technology, huh? They can just about tell if you fart too loud while you're driving. All right. Some of the companies have driver facing camera. They got a camera that's looking at you the whole time while you're driving. To make sure your eyes is moving, that you got the big picture. Hmm? That you ain't on that telephone. Hmm? They can hear your conversation if you are talking on your Bluetooth. Hmm? They can look inside of that truck and see what's going on at any time. The pros and the cons of trucking. If you want to be a part of it, you got to go with the flow. If you want to be in it, you're going to have to go through some bullshit. Trust me, I know. I've been in it 38 years. Can you make money? Yeah. Yeah. You can make money. You can make a pretty good living. But you got to put up with a lot of bullshit. Is it stressful? Yes. Is it worrisome? Yes. Hmm? Will there be days out there that you get pissed off? Yes. Will there be days out there that you just want to say, just throw up your hands? Yes. That's the pros and the cons, and the bitter and the sweet of trucking. I mean, that's just the way it is. Some things will never change. Hmm? And as drivers, and I'm going to close with this because my time is just about up. As drivers, guess what? We don't have no unity. It's a dog eat dog world. Huh? Go to sleep if you want to, and you in the line, you in line to be loaded or unloaded, and when the line move up, if you don't move up, you might have nodded out, okay? Because you've been waiting there so long. Hmm? And you fell asleep while waiting. Do you think the driver behind you have enough courtesy and respect for you to knock on your door and say, "Hey, driver, wake up, move up"? No. If they see a slot up there opening, they pull around you and pull in front of you. You could have been there first. You could have been there first. You don't give a damn. They have no courtesy or respect for you. It's a dog eat dog world out there. That's just the pros and the cons of trucking. Okay, you have to suffer the bitter with the sweet. Everybody out there, all them company drivers out there, and independents and owner operators and lease purchase drivers, they're all for themselves. It's a dog eat dog world in the trucking industry. There's no unity. There's no togetherness. There's no caring. Everybody's out for themselves. That's just the way it is. And if you want to be a part of it, I'm not trying to disencourage you, but if you want to be a part of the trucking industry, you got to deal with the bullshit.